The angles used for dovetails are generally as follows: for softwood 1 in 6, for hardwoods 1 in 8, and some makers use 1 in 7 as a general angle. For this dovetail we will use 1 in 6. For this joint you will need a tape measure, a square, a selection of sharp chisels, a sliding bevel or dovetail gauge, a marking knife, a mallet, a tenon saw, a 2H pencil, and a screwdriver depending on the type of bevel that you have. First, set the sliding bevel to the correct angle. Start by putting a mark on some scrap timber. Then measure down 6 centimeters and square a line across. Now measure 1 centimeter along that line. Connect the start of the first line to the centimeter mark on the second line. This is now an angle of 1 in 6. Adjust your bevel until its blade aligns with the angle line that you have just drawn. Start by assigning face edge and face side to both workpieces. Place the workpiece that will have the housing cut in it across the end of the workpiece that will have the dovetail cut in it and mark its width on the face side. Then square the shoulder line around the workpiece. On the end of the workpiece, measure in 5mm from both sides. Slide your bevel up to the mark and mark a line down to the shoulder line. Do this on both sides. Then square across the end and down the other side. Set the stock of your gauge so that the spur looks like it is in the centre of the thickness of the timber, and make a mark in the waste material with the stock against the face side. Then put the stock on the other side and make a mark. If the two marks align, then the spur is in the middle. If not, adjust the stock until the marks do align. Then with the stock against the face side, mark from the shoulder line across the top and down to the other shoulder line. Using a knife, score the shoulder line where you will cut. Do not score the line where you will not cut. Place the workpiece in the vise with the dovetail lines vertical, saw across the top and down to the shoulder line. Do this for all the dovetail lines. Always remember to finish with a horizontal cut so that you remove the high spot in the middle of your cuts. Next, place the workpiece in the vise and cut down the waist side of the thickness from the far corner across the top and down to the shoulder line at an angle. Repeat on the other side, then finish with a horizontal cut. Place the workpiece in the vise and cut the shoulder lines. Use a chisel to clean up any minor irregularities. Place the dovetail workpiece across the end of the other workpiece on the face side and make a mark. Measure the longest length and divide by 2. Then measure the resulting dimension from one end and make a mark. Place the dovetail workpiece against the mark and mark on the other side for the width of the dovetail workpiece. Align the dovetail with these marks and mark along the dovetail. Then square the marks down the edges. Gauge half the thickness between the lines on the edges with the stock of the gauge against the face side. Score the cut lines, then saw the lines down to the gauge line. Put some additional cuts into the waist, but be careful not to go past the gauge lines. Carefully remove the waste with a chisel. Use the flat side of your chisel to check that the bottom of the housing is flat. Gently offer up the dovetail to the housing and press together. If a good fit is achieved, pull apart, glue up and clean up when the adhesive has cured. If not, adjust until a fit is produced, then proceed as previously described. When complete, your joint should look something like this.